Hey, welcome back to Cemeteries. Today, I'm here at Blunk Cemetery in Crawford County, Indiana. It's a little short cemetery, so got a lot of sunlight, got a lot of old stones. Cool thing about the stones is they're very well preserved. Um, Not a lot. Looks like Find a Grave says 48, so shouldn't take me a lot of time. I'll try to zigzag this in rows. If possible. Alright, let's go to the usual pan of the cemetery. Okay, over by where we parked, the cemetery kind of angles uphill. As you can see, it's kind of small. I'm going to start all the way over here with this little stone and then start working my way towards the back. Alright, first little stone here. We have a Webster Kendall, looks like. Webster Kendall. Moving to our left, I'll note this. Might not be anything. Alright, up on top, Elizabeth, wife of B.T. Leonard. We have a Julia Kendall. Now this one's really cool. This one here on the front, we have a Stuart Kendall. It's weird how the spellings are different on each stone. Has an inscription here that if I can read it all, I'll pop it up. Now I don't have any information on what I'm about to show you, but on the back is his brother James Kendall. And on this far side here, check this out. Killed by lightning. Now, as far as Find a Grave goes, I don't have any information on the killed by lightning. It doesn't even reference it on either picture. But I thought it was something that I should show you because it's a really cool thing. Oh, all right, moving on here. We've got a Catherine Kendall. Beside her is a stone. And now this one. We have a Catherine Kellums. And if we go around, this side has James, her husband. I don't believe there's anything further. Alright. Now moving to the left of that stone, we just have this little, I don't even know if you can see it, but there's a stone in there somewhere, but it's just a stone. I'm going to take a couple steps back here though to catch this veteran stone. It's a Dennis Kellums. Get it in the frame there so you can actually see it.
It is spelled differently.
Yeah.
There.
There's a couple, like,
It's with a U on his.
yeah, I know. And that one over there has an E, so who knows.
That happened a lot in the military, though.
Alright, next over here, the last stone in what I'm going to say is row 2. Is Richard Jones. He wasn't a child. I don't know. See if there's anything else on his stone. Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, and what I'm calling row 2 starts off with this stone. It is for Simon T. Bunk. I don't know if you can see all this detail on the floor and the gate. And then we have Esther, his wife, on this side. And I believe those are their two markers behind it. And we have a stone here. And then another marker right here where my head is, actually. And then two more little stones here belonging to a JK and an SK. Beside them we have Amos Bunk. And Mary, his wife, with another little JK marker here that's been broken. To the left of the bunks, we have a Nancy J. Poland, one of the two, along with some other stones here on the ground. Could be markers, I'm not 100% sure. Another stone marker. And then we have Sarah Chamberlain with another rock. And right here we have an Addison Chamberlain. Moving on to the next row. This row here starts with a stone without any markings on it, followed by a Thomas I. Cummins. And another couple stones here, if you can see them. Moving on. Is that a Caria M. Bunk? David Bunk. By David here, we have a Melinda Bunk. Go over to the side. There's some stone markers. Oh, check this out. It's actually in memory of, this must be the front. It's kind of turned. William and Melinda Bunk, with a nice little inscription here. I'm sure I'll be able to read that, but I can't take it down now. And I assume, yep, this is William's side. You might not be able to read it, but we saw it on the other. Which I'd imagine, try to imagine this would be one of their markers. Here's another Melinda A. Bunk, William and Melinda's daughter, and a William Bunk. How about that? Another sibling. Right here, if you can see that, that's a Benjamin H. Bunk. I can't read what it says down there, but overall you can still see what's going on. Alright, here's another one. We got a Christina Klein. Look like that might be half of her stone. Another couple little markers without anything on them, and some flowers. This stone belongs to John A. Blunk. Just giving it a good look around to make sure there isn't anybody else involved. Doesn't look like it. And beside John, Margaret J. must be his wife. It's another bunk stone. I'm saying bunk, it's Blunk. I apologize. Second time I've done that during an episode. Fred Blunk. And Adrian D. Blunk. Okay, the following row starts with this rock and markers and goes all the way that way, but they're all just little markers and stones with no identification, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Moving on to the next row. It starts off with a couple more just stone markers. Up to these two, which I will get next. First stone, veteran here, J.H. Deal, followed by more stones right above where my head shadow is. Now this big one. Francis and George Bradley. I'll just pan back a little bit so you can see the whole stone. This side is Francis. Check that out. And over here is George's side. All right, on to the last row. Okay, the first stone here in what I'm calling the last row belongs to John F. Foster. Robert, I believe it's a Foster. Robert Foster. Now, there's more stones. One there. Another one right here, right by where my head shadow is. Another one right here. Now I'm going to detour off back to this one. Another veteran stone. Aaron, I can't read his last name. His first name's Aaron. I'll have to look it up and see if it's on. Looks like it might be Minor. M-I-N-O-R. Possibly. I could be wrong, but I'll look it up, and if I'm wrong, I'll put it up there. Another stone. These are two markers here. I believe they belong to Francis and George. I believe that's their markers. And the very last stone up here, as you can see, is actually facing the opposite direction. So, could mean any number of things, but it belongs to a Hendrix Kitterman. And that right there is the very last stone on the little cemetery here. Here's the last pan of what we got going on here. And that's it, folks. All right, folks, that was it here at Blunk Cemetery in Crawford County, Indiana.
We might technically still be boys.
It said Crawford on the thing. We might be in Du Bois. It's a possibility, but on Find a Grave it said Crawford, so I don't know. But it's right butted up against the National Forest here, and it's a pretty cool little cemetery, especially this stone here. Hope you enjoyed this visit, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.